Hello everyone, my name is Mandilynn. I'm the author of the young adult novel Essence and historical and fantasy novel I Am Mercy. Today's video is a collab with Mari Suggs. She is a fellow author and YouTuber. So today I am going to be very open with you, and so is Mari, and we're both going to be talking about what we would have changed about our debut novels. So after you watch my video, be sure to head over to her channel and watch her video. The link will be down below. I think it's safe to say that almost every author has something about their debut novel that they wish they could change, because when you first start off as an author, you don't always know what you're doing, and as many good intentions as you may have, things may not turn out the way you wanted, or you just grow as a writer. As you write more, you get better at writing, so you tend to look back at your debut novel and be like, ooh, that was bad. So I'm just gonna hop right into it, and I'm gonna talk about my first regret, which was writing so young. So this first one isn't so much as a regret as something I just kind of think about a lot. Because for those of you who didn't know, I started writing Essence when I was 13, and it was published shortly after turning 17. So with that said, I was a very young person with a very fresh outlook on life, I guess you could say. And while I think Essence is very well written for my age, I think if I wrote it now, it would be a very not different story, but more mature. I believe it's very mature for the age I was. For being a young adult novel, I think it's appropriate. I think it's pretty well written, if I do say so myself. But I'm sure if I wrote it today, there would be more things that are a bit more dynamic about it. As a writer, there's always room for improvement, so you can't really say that your novel is perfect. I don't think you can ever say that your novel is perfect. That's why it's so hard to tell when you're actually finished your novel or not, because you feel like you can always make it better. And nothing is more true than a debut novel, because we may feel like it's good and it's great, and then we hit the publish button, and then we sit back and we're like, ooh, there's a typo in there. At the end of the day, a writer is their own worst critique. I know what's wrong with my novel, and while most readers may not even spot it, I know in my heart that there's like a scene or two that I would have maybe tweaked a little bit, and that's okay. I think that's true for almost any novel that you write, not just your debut. Regret number 2 is publishing so young. And again, I don't even know if I would call this regret, as just something I think about a lot. Sometimes I think about, what would have happened if I didn't publish so young, if I waited another year or two until I was really ready. Not to toot my own horn, but I think I did a great job when it came to publishing Essence. I knew what I was doing. I did like a blog tour, cover reveal, like I was at my prime in high school when it came to publishing Essence. However, when publishing I Am Mercy came around, my life was busier. I wasn't on top of things as much, so my YouTube channel, my website, my book sales, they went from this to this, even though I had just published a second novel. My head was in the game when it came to publishing Essence, but my head was not in the game when it came to publishing I Am Mercy. And again, it was just because I was so young. I didn't completely know what I was doing. I was super excited when it came to Essence, but when it came to I Am Mercy, I was just so overwhelmed by everything else life was handing me that I kind of put my books on the back burner. So with that said, I do question maybe I should have waited until I could commit to publishing and things like that 100%, because I was not 100% committed at the time. Now I am, and now I'm ready for a whole new overtaking when it comes to my books. But at the time, before I graduated from college, I could not mentally, emotionally, physically be 100% committed to my books. Do I regret things? Some things, yes, but would I change anything? No. I believe that everything happens for a reason. So I do believe that if I hadn't published young, that things would have been very different and not necessarily in a good way. So I like to think that I should have published when I published. And I like to think that whatever time I lost in college when I was too overwhelmed to work on my books and all that, it'll pay me back 10 times fold now that I'm graduating. Regret number 3 is not cutting some stuff. So what do I mean by some stuff. Well, this is a very specific scene in essence. There's a scene where Emma and her mother, they're moving into a new house, they're unpacking boxes, and each box is labeled with the word stuff. And I was trying very hard to make a specific point that Emma's belongings, her family's belongings, they weren't just stuff. They were her life, they were her livelihood, and why were they labeling it just stuff? It wasn't just stuff. With that said, I may have put the word stuff in there a little bit too much, and a reviewer pointed it out in a very critical review, saying how much it sucked that I put the word stuff in. Of course, they pointed out other things because they just did not like the book at all, which is okay. You don't have to like my book. I prefer you like my book and give it a 5-star review, but you don't have to. And it's very stupid and kind of foolish that I let this review bother me this much, but it bothers me so much because I know they're right. I know that I went a little overboard when it came to saying stuff. At the end of the day, the moral of the story is to not let a bad review bother you, because you know what's wrong with your book, you know what needs to be fixed, you don't need someone else to point it out for you and make you feel bad about yourself. That's it for today's video. Be sure to check out Mari Suggs' video, which will be linked down below. And of course, also be sure to tell me in the comments, if you have a debut novel, what some of your regrets are with that debut novel. That's it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and comment down below.